Fight Week Show fans, Fight Week Show people, then we are back and look what the cat has dragged in. We got Tumelo, Bones are still, Manyamala. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, I'm good in yourself, Ola.
Oh, I'm good. I'm so pleased to have you on the show. You've been one of the rising stars in the UFC, in the EFC. Hopefully to go to the UFC pretty soon, but in the EFC right now, and you're doing big things. You're doing great things, man. And we're so happy. We're so excited to have you on the show. How's everything been since your last fight? Is the body okay? No injuries, nothing. You're feeling good. Tell us.
Pleasure to be on the show, Ola. A pleasure to be on the show. My body, apart from a bruised shin and elbow, I'm all good. It felt like I could go spar the next day.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's exciting to have you here. But let's go back to where you really started, because when we have new fighters on our show, we like to get a background and a feel for how they really got into the sport, and maybe who your inspirations were, and what how you got here to where you are today. Please just give us a nice summary of from the beginning to where we are now.
All right, perfect. So my dad was always into boxing, old school DVDs. I remember as a child we would watch Muhammad Ali
Mm,
and like he would rewind and like show me like look what he's doing and. So I've always had martial arts around me,
mm.
and he did kung fu back in the day as well. So, so he was always big on martial arts. So
Mm,
we had this karate dojo that is down the road from where I used to live,
okay.
and my dad pointed it out. He's like, "Oh, why don't you try karate?" And I was like, "Okay." I went into karate. No, I really enjoyed it. I didn't like the katas, like the demonstration and all that. But I did like the kumite, where you actually have to go compete.
Right.
So yeah, I did that for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got provincial colors and all that jazz.
Right.
Um, and then 2 years later, my older brother discovered MMA gym down the road from me and down the road from the karate gym.
Right.
So yeah, so I went out, tried my first lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, tried my lesson in my karate gi, and I know everyone was looking at me funny and all that, but yeah, so that's how I got into kickboxing,
Yeah.
and then from kickboxing, about 12 years later,
Yeah.
I started jiu-jitsu,
Got
and I
you.
actually left kickboxing for about 2, 3 years, just
Okay.
focused on my grappling, and then I didn't even plan on doing MMA. I
Mm.
just enjoyed jiu-jitsu. Yeah, from there, I had my first and only amateur MMA fight. Then decided to go pro.
Yeah. I mean, she raised about you. She says a lot of good things, high expectations for you, and you are undefeated. At 5-0. Four of your all five by finishes, four by KO, one by sub. So very impressive record there. How how has it been for you stepping into the cage, having a feel for these fighters, and and knowing in your heart of heart that you know what, I'm a bit more superior to these guys. What's that feeling like when you step in the cage with all these fighters?
I mean, if you can imagine, like my first fight, it
Mm,
was it was more of a mental journey,
mm,
because you have to believe that you can beat this guy. I mean, you've never proved to anyone, yet alone you haven't proved to yourself that you can fight, 5 minute rounds
mm,
at the altitude in Joburg, which is pretty high.
yeah,
I'm in Cape Town on the coast,
yeah.
so
We
going
we
up
hear
there,
about that altitude all the time.
yeah. So you have all these thoughts in your mind, and then once I finished my first fight, I was quite impressed. It was a good performance. I know it wasn't perfect and all that, but I proved to myself that I belong there. And then from there onwards, it's just I imagine my goal as the UFC.
Mm,
I tell myself, if the guys in the EFC, are making me sweat and all that, how's it gonna be when I'm in the UFC? When
mm,
you fight world class opponents.
yeah,
So it's more of a mental journey, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. 100%. And I can definitely see where you're coming from when you talk about the mental journey out of it, because a lot of people think when you guys go into battle, it's just the physical and you go out there and have a punch up, but the
Yeah,
mental warfare that you guys have to deal with and overcome,
yeah.
it's next level, next absolutely next level. But I wanted to talk to you about your last outing, and people, the audience, please go and give Tumelo a follow on his socials, on his Instagram. Go and follow him up. We're going to have his links in the description below. Go and show him some love. Go and support him. Right now, he's at work. He's at work and he's just stopped by to give us a quick chat. He's actually at a construction site right now because he's still got to eat. He's still got to make money, even though he's just had a fight at EFC 107, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I wanted to go and show Tumelo a lot of support, and then wherever everybody can support him, please go and find a way to do that. Tumelo, let's come back to your fight, your last fight at EFC 107. You finished with a round two, with a KO round two, and we were watching that day. I thought, oh my god, the way you handled that fight, and you just took it in stride, no rushing. You took your time with it, and you got your opponent out of there. What was the preparation like for that fight, and how hard was it being on that card, knowing the main card is what you really want, but you've got to put that aside and focus on the task at hand, and still prove yourself to the matchmakers and the powers that be at EFC that you deserve that number one spot at the top. Please talk to us.
I mean, yeah, the fact that at first I thought that the fact that I was on the same card as the title fight of my division
Yeah.
was pretty strange. But when I really thought about it, that night all the
Mm,
eyes were on the flyweight division,
mm,
right? And I have the same amount of I had the same amount of wins as Gift Walker, as Terence Balelo, the
yeah.
two top contenders,
Mhm,
and now I have the same record as the current champ.
yeah.
And I feel that because the eyes were on the flyweight division, it
Mm,
actually benefited me to be on the same card. So it didn't really bother me, that much. But the preparation for Fafa was, we knew he liked to shoot in.
mm,
He likes to shoot for the takedown. Then once he gets you down, he holds you down and wins his fight off of top control
yeah.
or control against the cage. Or so yeah, we planned, to counter his shots.
Mhm.
I think he took me down once, but we drill our get ups so much, like all the time. So I got up in about uh, like so fast, I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
And yeah, and then with the striking, we knew he wasn't. I mean, he does have some striking,
Mhm,
but we knew he was going to be kind of reluctant to engage in the striking. He just want to go for the shots.
yeah.
And fighting fighters like that is very tricky, especially myself as a striker.
Yeah.
I want to stand and bang,
Yep.
and to be cautious the whole time that this guy, whenever I throw a punch, he's going to shoot and take me down. It's
It's stressful,
it's
right?
some, yeah, it really tests your patience. And
Mm,
yeah, but I'm happy with my performance, but still a few things I need to work on. But
mm,
yeah, all in all, I think it was a good performance.
There's always room for improvement, especially with fighters with the mentality that you got, because you want to be the best and put your best foot forward at all times. So I can totally understand why you still feel, even with a fantastic performance like that, you're still thinking, no, there's work to do. Now, let's talk about what you said there about EFC 107 and all the eyes were, were on the flyweight division, because we were very, very involved in promoting that fight, and put them out there for everyone to see. People over here in the UK, they were very, very supportive of it, and those two guys, I think, were good representation of where your division is, and this the skill set that you guys have. Now, you said your record, you now have the same record as the current champ. Is there some kind of discussion between you and the EFC about your next fight? What's next for you? Will you be seeing the champion next? Because in my eyes, I feel you're the number one contender. I truly feel you're the number one contender. We've got good relationship with the champion, and Terence Balelo, who's just lost by rear naked choke to the champion, and we're going to be speaking to him at some point. But do you think, the discussions are going right between you and the matchmakers, and seeing what's next in terms of facing Gift Walker for the 125 strap?
All right. So verbally, we talked to Graham, and we verbally agreed that my next fight is definitely for a title.
Right.
I know EFC, they're interested in putting on Gift Walker versus Zulu, which
Okay.
I don't know why. He
Mm,
was a champion, gave up his belt. He hasn't been on a winning streak for
mm,
quite a while.
mm,
So yeah, maybe that happens. Who knows what the EFC decides? But
mm.
all I know is that the next time I step into the cage, I want it to be for the
You want
flyweight
to,
strap.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that I've put in, the performances and the work. At first I even said in my post-fight interviews that I'm not in a rush, just
Mm,
trying to clear the division and all that. But
mm.
I feel, I feel now is the time to go.
Yeah, you're ready. You're ready. You
Yeah,
feel ready
I'm ready.
to.
Yeah.
You feel ready to do it. What? Let me ask you. What did you make of the because I'm not sure whether you was watching in the back after your fight, but what did you make of the EFC 107 main event, the fight between Gift and Terence Balelo? Did you think it was gonna go like that, or did you think something different was gonna happen? Do you think you'll go all the way? What was your take on the whole fight?
My predictions before the fight were Gift Walker,
Yeah,
to be honest, because I know he has a more well-rounded game. Terrence has good striking. I'll give
yeah,
that to him.
yeah.
Maybe a bit of wrestling. I haven't seen too much of his wrestling to judge.
To judge it.
But yeah, I knew Gift had a very good ground game as well.
Mm.
I'm not sure if Terrence does jiu-jitsu or any of that. I'm not
Mhm,
yeah, I'm not too sure. But
mhm,
yeah, but the first round, it was I think Gift was saving his energy, in my opinion, because
mm.
it was a 5 rounder. So you can't start off guns blazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Terrence also had some good striking. He didn't rush, took his time, picked him out from the outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good adjustment by Gift in the second round to shoot for that takedown, and he was relentless with that thing. He was relentless and got his back and sunk that choke in.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
That's
Yeah.
all she wrote. It was a very, very interesting card. You as part of the card, you guys put on a show. I really, really enjoyed the whole card as a whole. And I definitely want to see more of you. I want to see more of your performances. And being from the gym that you train at, can you tell us the influence that Mikey and Jess Monami has on your current career, as you know, as a whole, and training out of that gym, and what makes that gym so different to some of the other ones in and around South Africa?
I mean, yo, they have a huge influence. They have a huge influence. I mean,
Mm,
Mike, apart from being from being my head coach and showing me techniques that I don't I don't think about at all.
mm,
He really also emphasizes on the mental aspect of fighting, which I believe fighting is, I'd say, 20% or even 10% physical, but you
mm,
need to be physical. But
yeah.
the rest, I'd say, is mental. So, and that's everyday mental. People think it's just mental in the cage.
Mm,
Like you're a fighter. You know that you're gonna go fight someone dangerous in 3 months or 2 months, or
mm,
maybe it's fight week. So you have to constantly work on your mentality. You
mm,
can't be a victim. You have
mm,
to be the wolf. You know.
yeah. Mm,
So yeah, he really emphasizes on the mental as well, and Jess, apart from giving us advice on how to promote ourselves on social media and get more
mm,
sponsors and all that.
mm,
She trains like hard.
yeah,
She
I'm with
trains hard, and it's really inspirational. I mean, she's a mother, business owner,
you. Mm,
and she still trains hard. She's still taking title fights. She's
mm.
still, it's really inspirational. Yeah,
Yeah, man. 100%. And fantastic, fantastic work by those guys building a business. I know they recently made a new gym. They started a new podcast. There's a lot going on with those guys at the moment, and they, like you said, truly, truly inspirational when you see what they're doing out there. Can I ask you, before we let you leave, because I know you're really, really busy, and thank you so much for your time. We
yeah.
nearly
No,
at
it's a
20 minutes.
pleasure,
Uh,
man.
we nearly at 20 minutes. I want to ask you, is there a time frame for when we get to see Bones of Steel back in the cage?
Yeah, so I know Gifton is in the press conference.
Hmm.
He said he wants to fight me December,
Right.
right? But I haven't heard anything from the EFC, so I don't know about that. But either December or the first EFC of next year, which should be around March.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah. The,
yeah,
the, the, the calendar seems aligned.
yeah,
it seems okay. So um either December or the first EFC card of next year. So yeah, it seems aligned, and we're going to be talking to Gift very, very soon as well. We've just scheduled something with him, so we're going to be speaking to him and try and get more insight on that. So maybe you could keep an eye on the Fight Week show and see, maybe you can get some intel for
I
yourself.
definitely will. I definitely will.
uh, and Tumelo, thank you so, so much for your time. I know you're really, really busy. You're at work right now, trying to put that food on the table. So salute to you, and hopefully, very, very soon, because we do a lot of stuff on the Fight Week show. And different kind of segments, watch alongs, where we watch fights together with professional fighters like yourself,
Yeah.
and many other stuff. So we would like to have you back, now that our audience has got to know you, and where we can talk more about MMA and the landscape of MMA in general. But this one here is just about getting you and our audience acquainted, and I feel like we've done that today.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on the show. The pleasure is all mine, and I definitely look forward to coming back on the show.
Yeah, man. My brother, thank you so much for pulling up on the show. We really, really appreciate you. We're gonna have all your socials and where people can find you on in our descriptions below. And people, please, 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 please go and search and support Tumelo Bonzo Still Manyamala. Go and support him. And before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you want to, shout out, your coaches, your team, your sponsors, people like that? You have the floor. Please give them a shout.
All right, shout out to Ligam Fight Gear, which sponsors me. My training partner Ryan Cochran, I know that he has a fight coming up in the EFC
Shout
very
out to
soon.
Ryan.
I think he's going to become champion definitely. Um, yeah, shout out to my coaches, Jess, Jelson, Mike, and many, many more.
Yeah,
Yeah, but shout out to the whole EFC team.
but
I
salute.
mean PFA team. Sorry.
PFA team. Salute to
Yeah.
PFASA, man. PFASA, they're doing great work out there. And if you live in South Africa and you're looking for a gym, that's one gym to definitely go and check out. They cater for everything over there, man. Cater for everything and people from all walks of life. And we have come to the end of the show, people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. And up onto the next video, people. Hasta la vista. We're out. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brad Watt from Cage Warriors. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Like, share, and subscribe for all that good stuff. You do not want to miss it.